James Tierney, TierneyEducation.com, here with a video that's a little different from the normal content you'll find on this page. I want to talk about something that happened today, which gave me a little bit of anxiety. And I remembered what my therapist told me that we're not perfect. And when we make a mistake, the best thing to do is to figure out what we can do to make sure that we limit the probability of making that mistake in the future. So, what I did today was I missed a lunch that was scheduled by the dean of Susquehanna University, Matt Rousseau, which up here will be his YouTube page that you should subscribe to. And I felt really bad about this because he had scheduled it a long time ago. We were supposed to have lunch with some other faculty, and it just completely slipped my mind. And normally I have everything in my calendar, but because I work at a couple of different universities and they all have their own calendar system, I never check the Susquehanna calendar. And the job that you get will probably have its own calendar system. And if you are working different jobs, you might have different calendars and they're not all connected. So when I was driving home from Susquehanna and I got the notification that I should be at this lunch that I completely missed, I felt anxiety and said, well, what can I do to make sure this doesn't happen again? And really, I should have my Susquehanna University email linked to my personal Gmail account that has everything else, right? My Google Calendar. So, what I decided to do was when I got back to my office, which is right now, I'm going to link that. That way, this type of thing doesn't happen again. So I'm taking the advice of my therapist that instead of, kind of feeling bad and running through my head what I should have done, I'm going to change that to what can I do going forward to make sure that this thing doesn't happen again. So this video is going to show how to take a calendar from Outlook, which is what Susquehanna University is set in, and make sure that that shows up on my Google calendars so that way I won't miss an event like this again. Thanks for listening to my story, and hopefully this helps you out. Here we have my Outlook calendar through Susquehanna University. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I will be able to share this calendar with my personal Tierney Education Google account. So that way I can at the very least see when I have events scheduled. You can see down here, the bottom right, for Friday, I just put a random event at 6 p.m. So we'll see how that shows up. Now, you'll also see today uh, at noon, it was canceled because I missed it, like I said. Now, the way that my institution, Susquehanna University, has it set up is I cannot share outside of the organization the events. So it's not like I can sync these two calendars perfectly where I can change them from one another. But all I'm trying to do here is when I look at my calendar, right? I use my cell phone, look at my calendar for the week. I'm like, oh, there is something that's going on with the Susquehanna Outlook calendar. I better look and make sure I don't miss that appointment. So let's go ahead and see how I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the browser for Outlook, and using the browser for Outlook is probably the easier way than using the app. So what I need to do is go to the settings. So I'm going to go to the settings up here at the top right. And when I click on settings, it's going to bring a bunch of different things down here. And I want to view all Outlook settings at the very bottom. That's going to go to my sharing area. So here under view, you keep looking down, you'll see shared calendars. And I can either share the calendar or I can publish it. Now, sharing it is usually used like within your organization. If I wanted to share it with, say, an admin assistant or another faculty member that I'm working with, or maybe students, I could do that. Publishing the calendar is going to let me pull it pretty easily from Google, just again to see when I'm busy or when I'm free. So I'm going to select the calendar, which is just a single calendar that I have here. I don't use my Outlook Susquehanna for anything. I'm currently teaching one class as an adjunct, but if anyone schedules an event with me through my Susquehanna email, it is going to go on this calendar, which is why I got into this mess today. Selecting the permissions, again, Susquehanna and most institutions, most businesses are probably only going to let you publish it to see when you're busy. This is on the back end security. And so I click publish. And what that's going to do is that's going to spit out some links for me. Now, down here, if you want to do HTML, that's like if someone just wants to view it in a browser. The ICS, right? So this .ics in our calendar, that's what we're going to want to pull to use with Google. So let me click on that and copy that link. It says the link is copied, but I'm always press copy again just to make sure. So now I'm going to go over to my Google Calendar, which I have another tab here. I have all of my calendars hidden right now, just so it's the clean slate for you all to look. And under other calendars, you're just going to click that plus sign. When you click that plus sign, we're going to subscribe to a new calendar via the URL because we just copied that URL. And then I'm going to paste my URL right here, and I'm going to add that calendar. And it'll take a second, and you'll see at the bottom, it will say the calendar has been created, and it is fetching the events. I personally would like to go and edit this, so that way it doesn't just say calendar. It's always going to be that top one. If you click on it, you can verify that it's that same address we just copied. I'm going to change this to SU for Susquehanna University, so that way I know what it is. I'm also going to change that color. I think I can change the color here once I get back to the regular page. Now we are back at the main calendar, and notice it just shows the event. So today's noon event, the one that I missed, since it was canceled, it now does show that I would be free during that time. And then it shows that I'm busy at 6 p.m., which was that event that I created. So if I'm looking at my calendar weekly, I can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to have something on Friday. I better look up to see what it is. As I mentioned before, Susquehanna, their colors are orange. So I'm actually going to make this orange. It's just going to look a lot better with my calendar. So there you have it. It's not that difficult to go into your settings of Outlook and check out how to share or publish your calendar over to Google. Now with Susquehanna, I can't see exactly what the event is, but again, all I'm trying to do is set up a system so that way I don't make the same mistake that I made today, missing an appointment. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments below. If you're interested in more ways to help out with productivity in the classroom or anything like that, feel free to visit tierneyeducation.com. You can just sign up for a free 30-minute consultation. I'd love to meet you and chat. Take care. See you next time.